Hi guys, today we're going to make a rose that looks just like this one or pretty similar to it. So I, like always, I'm going to draw with Sharpie so you can see it better on the camera, but I always recommend starting with a pencil so that way if you make any mistakes you can always erase and fix those. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is draw the outside shape of this rose. So it's kind of like a vase shape. So I'm going to go ahead and curve this around and out. And I want to do the same thing on this side. So around and out. And it's okay if they're not exactly the same. We just want them to be similar. So the next thing I'm going to do is connect this together by adding a slight curved line. And then the next thing we're going to do is do this first petal. So I'm going to curve outwards like that. And then this is going to curve in and across. So it's going to come across the middle and down to the middle. So I'm going to start up here, come out, and back into the middle. And then I want to do the same thing over here. I want to curve out just a little bit. And then it's going to curve down to that first petal. Like that. Now we're going to do this middle petal here. So I'm going to kind of curve upwards and back down. Almost like a little shark fin. Then we're going to curve this around here to connect those. So now this petal is almost wrapping around this middle petal, the one on the inside. Then I'm going to add a little curve here for another one, and then we'll overlap here, and then we'll add just this little guy that's kind of poking out here. So I'm going to curve up and back down. Okay, and that's it. We could continue to add on some more if you would like to. Now sometimes a rose petal kind of folds itself over, which you can see here. So I'm going to make that curve, it's going to curve out and back in. Okay. So now that part kind of folds, looks like the petal is rolling over. We're going to go ahead and come in and do the leaf shape here. So I'm going to curve up, and then it's going to come down and out, and it kind of has a little belly there, right there, for that leaf. And then I'm going to add a line right up the middle. Now the base of the rose has two smaller leaves that are kind of supporting it. So I'm going to come and make a curve down, and it's going to come up and again have just a little bit of a curve and come to that middle part. So up, down, and in. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to curve down, and it's going to come back up to the middle. Now for a flower, we typically are going to have a straight stem, but you notice it's a little bit thicker here to help support that rose. And you're going to see that on a lot of flowers if you ever look at the stem of a flower. It's going to be a little bit thicker there at the base to help support it. So I'm going to add two diagonal lines from that middle part, and then I'm just going to add a straight line down, and then I do the same thing over here, straight line down. And that's it for drawing our rose. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to add color. So I'm going to do another red rose just because that's the colors that I have out. So I'm going to come in, and I like to start by outlining my object first. And you'll notice I'm just using a regular Crayola marker. I am using the thick kind, the broad line, and I'm typically going to color using this edge here. So I'm not coloring using the point, I'm not coloring like this, I'm coloring on the side, and that way I get a larger stroke of color. So it allows me to color in faster. It keeps that point still pointy, so if I needed a point, I could still use that little tip. And I'm just going petal by petal to color that in. Okay, now what I want to do is add a little bit of value to this, and I can do that with this marker. So I'm going to go ahead and add another layer of color, and you can see it's starting to look a little bit darker. So I'm going to make this part of my petal darker here. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of extra here where the petals kind of overlap. I'm going to come in, I can add some highlights so you can see those white spots here. So I'm using a colored pencil, and I'm just going to add a little bit. I have to press kind of hard, but I want to add some light tones where the light, the sun, would be hitting the flower and reflecting off of it. And that just helps it look a little bit more realistic. And then I can still come in with my brown colored pencil, and I want to add just a little bit more dark value. Again, I'm pressing pretty hard. And it might be kind of hard to see on the video, but it's adding just a little bit of extra value to this rose. A little bit more dimension. I'm going to go ahead and come in and do the leaf and the stem. So I'm going to start with my dark green marker, and this time I am going to use that point of the marker because I want to outline this again. But since I'm not going to color the whole thing in dark, I just want a thin line. Like that. And then I'm going to take my light green and I'm going to fill that in. And this time I am going to use the edge of my marker. And there you go. That's how you draw a rose. I can't wait to see what you guys create. Make sure to share it with me on Seesaw or Sonia. I hope you guys have fun. Bye.